what we're really wanting you to begin to feel as hands-on deliberate creators is how to ask and how far to go in the asking before you start working on the allowing, and then how far to go in the allowing before you start working on the asking. In other words, is this constant balance between getting clear about what you want and then letting it be, getting clear about what you want and then letting it be, getting clear about what you want and then letting it be. Nothing will ever stand still, and nothing will ever be complete. And so until you get comfortable with that dance, you're not going to be happy in your body. You're not going to be happy in this time-space reality. You're not going to be happy wanting things that haven't happened yet. And you're not going to feel comfortable in just sitting back and letting God do what you think you should do. In other words, you are creators. You like to create. You like to get your hands in the clay. You like to be active in molding your life experience. But sometimes you ask without letting it in, and then you get frustrated. You ask and you don't believe. You need and then you don't expect. And when you do that, you'll feel horrible to ask for something and summon that powerful source energy through you, and then to hold thoughts that contradict it puts you in a very uncomfortable place. And then you say, oh, it must not be appropriate for me to want, because when I stop wanting, as if you could, when I stop fanning the flames of this desire, I feel better. And we say, yes, the reason that you feel better when you stop fanning the flames of the desire that you don't believe is that you stop the sensation of resistance. And we want so much for you to come to realize that you've set up the resistance. You're the only one who can hinder you in any way. You can blame it on somebody else. You can blame it on the economy or the government. You can blame it on anything that you want to, but you are the keeper of your vibration. And when you decide that you want to feel good, when you decide you're going to mold your energy, when you decide you're going to want and then allow, want and then allow, identify desire and then bask in it, then not only do you feel wonderful all of the time, those who see you think you have a magic wand, because it seems that all you have to do is lay your eyes in the direction of something desired and it flows easily into your experience. They see you passionate and loving. They see you kind and considerate. They see you appreciative and willing. They see you so secure within yourself that you never beat up on somebody else to make yourself feel better. They see you complete and whole. They see you feeling good. They see you full of you. It's so good to be full of you. When you're full of you, you're like the children who cannot get enough of whatever they're involved in. You're like the child who seems tireless, doesn't need to sleep, wants to play one more time. So what are we talking about here? Are we teaching the science of deliberate creation, which means think about what you want? Or are we teaching the art of allowing, which means pet your cat and don't think about what you want? We're teaching whatever it takes for you to feel good. And for every one of you, it will be a different recipe in different moments. Because sometimes you want something so badly you can taste it. What's that tell you? You're full of resistance. You want it so much it hurts. You say, I want that so bad it hurts. And we say, it's going to be a while on this one. So get used to the pain. Or you say, thinking about that just makes me happy. And we say, then it's on its way, if not already here. When you say, I've wanted this for so long, I can't remember not wanting this. We say, it's going to be a while. When you say, that's a good idea, bam, manifestation. When you say, wouldn't it be nice if, bam, it's right there. When you say, you know what I really like about that? There it is, again and again. When you say, you know what I really don't like about that? There it is, again and again. In other words, you are the focuser. You get to point your attention in the direction of anything that you choose. And then you got to line up with it. That's all. So, if you're looking at something tragic and you feel horrible while you're looking at it, guess what? You're lined up. When you look at something not wanted like cancer, and you feel horrible as you're looking at it, you're lined up with it. But an easier way to hear that is when you feel bad, you're not lined up with what you do want. In other words, we don't want you to begin to think that there is this source of good and this source of bad. And when you feel good, you're in alignment with the source of good. And when you feel bad, you're in alignment with the source of bad. Although it plays out exactly that way. What we would rather you understand is that there is a stream of well-being. And the better you feel, the more in alignment with it you are. And when you don't feel good, you are somehow doing that thing you do, which is keeping you from being a vibrational match to the well-being that is natural to you, that really is you. So why are you here? It seems like it should have been more. It seems like there should be more to it. It should be more complicated. After all, I've devoted thousands of lifetimes to this understanding. I'm on the leading edge of thought. I paid $150 to get here. Shouldn't there be more to this? And we say, oh, there's a lot more, but it all falls under the category of joy. It's all for joy. It's all for your exhilarating life experience. It's all for our joy. All of this exists so that you can continue to expand in joy. Did we say all of this exists so that you can joyfully expand? Well, the expansion is inevitable. But if joy is your goal, it certainly is ours. Then, and only then, are we able to stay in balance. If you get growth out there as your goal, then you lose your barometer. You lose your sense of where you are in your balance of desire and allowing. Joy has to be the only thing that matters to you, or you'll lose that balance. And oh, heaven help you, and Abraham too, if you ever make growth your goal. Because when growth is your goal, you work so hard, you lose your connection, and then you set up a wall of resistance, and then you ask harder and harder, you work longer and longer, you feel worse and worse, your desires stay further and further away, you walk forward and so do they, you walk forward and so do they. An elusive dream, it seems. But when you make joy your dominant quest, then you can feel, time for me to put more emphasis on the specifics of what I want. Time for me to put less emphasis on the specifics of what I want. And time for me to relax and bask in things already accomplished and things already appreciated. Oh, things are slowing down a little bit for me. Now, what do I want? Things are going way too fast for me. Now, let's see how I can bask. In other words, if you're paying attention to the way you feel, then you have this perfect awareness, and it begins to feel as natural to you as driving your car. Sometimes we see you mad at yourself because you have a desire that you cannot figure out how to get close to. You can't find the feeling place of it. And we say, this is the fun. We see you. You like challenges in your computer work. You like challenges on the football field. You like challenges in tennis. You like challenges. You put yourself in competition with all kinds of things. You love the expansion of your mind. Why not enjoy your step-by-step motion toward your own creation? Why not relax and begin enjoying the process instead of beating up on yourself because you're here and your desire is over here? Why not start enjoying the journey? We don't see any of you taking off on a vacation, knowing that eventually you'll come back home, and having all of these cities and all of these destinations in your plans, and then suddenly waking up on the morning that you're going to leave and saying, let's see, here's my itinerary. I'm going here and here and here and here and here and here and here, and 30 days later I'll be back home. Home? I'm already home. Why go? I could save a lot of time and trouble and money. This goal is complete. Check it off my list. And you don't do that because going is so much fun. All of the stuff that comes along the way is so very much fun. And so that's the way each of your desires is to feel to you. That's what you planned. You didn't say, I'll go forth and instantly manifest. You said, I'll go forth and I'll get an idea and I'll line up with it, and all that is will assist, and I'll see progress which will give me greater clarity. And as that greater clarity comes and I stand in that partially manifested stage, I'll have other ideas, because everything about me and everything about my desire will have shifted a little bit, and I'll add clarity to what I want. Jerry and Esther have builders that have been building with them since 1994. And it's a small crew. They're on their 5th or 6th building now. And the thing that Jerry and Esther love most about it is they go so slow that Jerry and Esther can change their mind a zillion times before anything happens, which is wonderful because it gives them the opportunity to conclude and to attract and to change their mind. And their builder stands before them, looks both of them in the eyes, and says, "We're ready to go on this, right?" And Esther says, "Yeah, go with it, and if we don't like it, we'll do it again." So that the large building, much of it porches, is on its 5th painting. The rooms are getting smaller and smaller. And it's almost right. But since there is no limitation, since the new idea always feels better, since it is all about joy and experience, and even these very conservative builders are beginning to enjoy the process of creation. They're beginning to relax into the awareness that this building will never be done. People say, "When are you moving in?" And Jerry will say, "We don't know." "Well, what is your deadline?" "Well, we don't have a deadline." "Well, how fast should I go?" "As fast as pleases you. Do what's comfortable for you." They're having quite an adjustment. They're used to being driven by deadlines and demands. They're used to being motivated rather than inspired. But they are relaxing into the awareness of how much fun it can be to take your time and allow inspiration to lead. And that's what we wish for all of you. There is no limitation on resource. Anything that you desire flows easily to you. It is your work to identify, then relax and allow, over and over and over and over again. You'll never stop asking. You'll never stop allowing. So negative emotion will never be a thing of the past. Negative emotion will always be a subtle reminder of where you are in that balance. You can diminish your negative emotion from agony to awareness. You can diminish your negative emotion from depression to a nudging, an indicator. You can get so good at listening to who you are that your life will unfold so seamlessly that anyone watching you would really believe that you have an advantage that they've never seen before. When in reality, everyone is born with this advantage. You are vibrational beings, we all are. And when you are aware of your vibration, then you are in control of your experience. Every thought that has ever been thought could potentially be thought by you. You're like a receiving mechanism that when you set your tuner to the station, you're going to hear what's playing. Whatever you are focused upon is the way you set your tuner. And when you do that, and you focus there for as little as 17 seconds, you activate that vibration within you. Once you activate a vibration within you, law of attraction begins responding to that vibration. And you're off and running, whether it's something wanted or unwanted. Don't let it worry you, because you have enormous leeway in all of this. And when you begin to recognize that you can choose in every moment a thought that feels good or a thought that doesn't feel good, then you begin to recognize that you have the potential of activating something that feels good or activating something that feels bad.